Okay, so we got our cube here, and got our animation down here. The cube is right here in the center, so I'm gonna go ahead and do an eye. Thought I was. Let's try it again. There it goes. And we want to choose your location rotation scale. Then I'll go over here to like 40, and I'm going to do a rotate around my Z. So I'll do an RZ, and I'll rotate it like that. I'll click about 45, do an E for end. Now, if I save that, actually, I want to see where I want to save it at. So go ahead and create a new 3D project in Unity. Tell me when it's done loading. It's amazing to me how many files this creates. When I was zipping up that invaders code, and just tons of objects that threw into the zip file. Everybody there? Okay. So now if I come down here, I right click in this gray area, I can say show and explore. Up here I can click so I can highlight the entire path. We do want assets, so actually we double click assets and then click up here. I'm going to right click that and choose copy. Then in Blender, I'm going to do a file, save, and up here I'll change my folder. I'll do a Control V after I got it highlighted, so it's same directory as my assets for the Unity project. And untitled blend, I probably call it cube.blend. And click Save Blender File. And you can leave Blender open, doesn't hurt anything. You'll see it eventually appear over here. Now, if you click this cube, over here on the right-hand side, you'll see cube import settings. And you see there's a model right here. Mesh render, animator, material. You'll see rig, different options there. You'll see an animation here. Specifically, see how it says default take? This is our default animation. Like if I play this, did I not rotate my cube? I should have tried it. Alt A. Let me rotate mine. Rotate Z, move it about like that. Do another I, location, rotation, scale. Now let me do an Alt A. Okay, now mine's moving. I'm going to do a save. Come over to here to Unity. I'll right click on this. And probably just refreshing will do it. Let me re-import just to be on the safe side. Okay, now my default take over here, let's see. Now it's moving. Now you can continue making changes to your Blender file as long as it's saved in that same folder. Okay, so that's our default take up here. You can delete clips. Like if you don't want some of them, you can press your little subtraction to delete it. I suppose you could add. Although since we're doing it in Blender, probably add doesn't make a whole lot of sense at this point. Then there's also the materials over here. We already talked about the materials. Bed of materials, extra, okay. Everybody good so far? Now if I drop the cube up here, if you play it, by default it's not going to play, it just sits there. Now, let's see if I can remember all the steps for this. I may have to refer to the video. I did put the video out there in Blackboard, so you can go out there and watch it. But if I right-click down here in the gray area, choose Create, and I want to choose the animation controller. Right. And since it's already highlighted, I'll go ahead and change the name of it to Cube Controller. This is going to allow us to play our animation from Blender. So if I double click the Cube Controller you just created, it'll create a blank slate up here. We haven't really done anything. If you right click on this and choose Create State Empty, this is going to go from entry to a new state. In our case, we're going to be connecting the animation with the controller. Good so far? Okay, I go back to Scene. Now your cube up here, you see it has an animator component. Everybody see that all right? Now you see the controller says none. If I click the circle over here, you see there's a cube controller here. So if you choose that cube controller, or you could click this and drag it and drop it in the controller spot. Now if I play it, still not moving. I think I have to set the loop option. Well, where's the looping though? See, I was hoping I could actually remember this and wouldn't have to use the video. Obviously, I was wrong. I don't think it's this loop time. Well, let me set that just in case. Apply. No. Okay. Let's go watch a video. It's me guessing. I figured there's a pretty good chance I wouldn't remember. So I put the video. Did I put the video out there? I may have just emailed that to myself. Nope, I don't even have the week out there yet, so. And, okay. Came up with HIPAA, and I'm thinking I was just talking about that, but that wasn't. I was talking about FERPA. HIPAA is what? Your medical. Okay, so let's see what step I skipped. He does a lot of different things. I'm going to skip through that. Get to the. That's it. Okay, so you did choose loop time. Well, that's interesting. I did all those steps. I hate computers. I really just do hate them. Now, I did do a couple things in Blender before I brought it over before. Maybe those were the things that you have to do. Got my cube here. I said it's a cube controller. Cube itself, animation wise, is set to loop. Yours didn't work, did it? What's that? No. Maybe those two things are important. I thought it would just affect how it looked. I did it just during lunch. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, so over in Blender, go into edit mode, so do a tab. Everything's already selected on my cube. And cursor to select. So Shift S, cursor to selected. Now we're going to go out of edit mode. Shift Control Alt C. So Shift Control Alt C. Shift Control Alt C. And I don't remember. Let's see. Origin to 3D cursor. Control Alt C. Origin to 3D cursor. Okay, so let me save that now. Come over here, I'm going to right click on that and I'll say re-import. Still not moving. This is one I created this morning, noon. I don't remember when. No, this is a brand new one I did. Yeah. No, I wouldn't work on that because I wasn't working. So let's see what in the world I did different. I know I didn't do anything different. Let me see. Import animation. Loop. My cube here, I'm saying is a cube controller. For my cube controller, I have the new state there. It's a cube controller. Yeah. I don't remember setting that avatar. Imported in 1113 must have I had two imported ins, so that's why I created one for today. Well, let me go back to the other one. Just double check. It's not animating. Got my cube. It's an animator. It's creating its own avatar, cube avatar. Cube controller. Apply root motion. I don't get it. Let me try one more. And then I'll just throw my computer on the floor and go to Alaska. It'd be different if I had even done it last night or something. I did like 2 hours ago, so it'd be fresh in my mind. Okay, just make sure my animation's there. Okay. This is saved in Animation Town, so I need to save it in my new location when it gets done. So I'm right click in the gray area here, show and explore. Copy that. Do a file save as. Change the folder. Click save as Blender file twice. I didn't save it in the assets. Okay, go to assets, save it. Okay, so my cubes appeared here. I dropped my cube on here. I'm going to delete my cube. Maybe I didn't do this loop time before I dropped it up there. I think I deleted it in the last one and tried it again. Okay, so I got that. I click apply. You always have to click apply anytime you make changes here. Everything else should be good. Okay, now I drop it up here. I want to right click here, choose create animation controller or animator controller. I'll call this the cube from HWord. Okay, so I'm gonna double click my cube from HWord and I want to create some kind of state. So I'll create an empty state. That's just so it'll actually do something when it starts. Okay, so go back to my scene. I have this selected, choose the animator, choose the cube from HWord. Nothing. Not a thing. I didn't do that. Oh, I think I just said default take. I think that's what I forgot. There it is. There's a missing piece. You click your new state, and then if you click that circle, default take. Now let's run it. There, it's moving. 2 hours time, I forgot default take. Did we get that? Okay. When I saw the clips up here, that's when I remembered I had to make that connection. He does it in the video. Well, what I want you to do is I want you to use TurboSquid. I want you to create a little mini world here. Drop on 5 houses and create 3 animations over in Blender and bring them in and set them up like that. Try to have a grass on there. So over in Blender, you can create a plane and you can drop a texture on it, right? that make sense what I'm looking for? Okay. Now, next time we're going to take a look at shape keys, and then we're going to take those shape keys and we're going to bring them into Unity.